Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're digging into the origin story of one of the most controversial and, frankly, darkest figures in modern American history. We're talking about the shocking transformation of a smart kid from a working-class neighborhood into the ultimate symbol of elite corruption. You see, when you hear the name Jeffrey Epstein, you probably jump straight to private jets, the island, and the horrible scandals. But let's rewind. Let's look at where this story actually began, because the beginning is strangely ordinary. Jeffrey Epstein was born on January 20th, 1953, right in Brooklyn, New York. His family was middle-class and Jewish. His father was a simple city park department maintenance worker, and his mother was a school assistant. There were zero signs back then that this child would become the notorious figure he did. He wasn't born into privilege. He was born into the kind of tough, gritty New York environment that forces you to be sharp. And sharp he was. Epstein was known from an early age for being incredibly smart, a genuine whiz, especially when it came to math and physics. He attended Lafayette High School in Brooklyn and was so ahead of the curve he actually graduated 2 years early. This raw intelligence, his ability to manipulate numbers and understand complex systems quickly, that was his golden ticket. But here's where the narrative takes a slightly strange turn. After high school, he started at Cooper Union, then bounced over to New York University. The thing is, he never finished. Despite all that genius, all that raw intellectual horsepower, Epstein left college without a degree. This lack of a formal credential should have been a wall, a major obstacle. Instead, it became the exact stepping stone he needed for what came next. His career pivot point was teaching. In his early 20s, this brilliant, non-degreed young man landed a job teaching mathematics and physics at the Dalton School, an insanely elite private school in Manhattan. Think about that. A middle-class kid from Brooklyn, who never finished college, is now instructing the children of the absolute wealthiest and most influential families in New York City. This wasn't just a job, it was an entry point. This was Epstein's true education, his real graduation. He wasn't just teaching fractions. He was networking, he was observing, he was learning the language, the habits, and the weaknesses of the powerful elite. He was on the inside, looking out. These relationships built while standing in front of a classroom became the keys to the castle he so desperately wanted to enter. It was at Dalton that he charmed the father of one of his students, a senior partner at the investment bank Bear Stearns, who was so impressed he offered Epstein a job. Within a couple of years, he dropped the chalk for the calculator and jumped headfirst into the world of finance. It takes enormous self-confidence and shrewd cunning to pivot from being an unqualified school teacher to a force in high finance. But Epstein had both in spades. He leveraged those elite connections, using his undeniable mathematical genius and his understanding of how the wealthy operate to climb the financial ladder incredibly fast. He moved from observer to participant, from teacher to player. It was a steep, dizzying ascent that made him a partner at Bear Stearns in just a few years before he was asked to leave for reasons that are still debated today. But he didn't falter. He simply used that experience to launch his own firm, J. Epstein & Co., managing money exclusively for billionaires. This is the crucial part of his origin. He learned early on that the rules that applied to everyone else did unnecessarily apply to the world he was entering. The story of Epstein isn't just about financial success. It's about what happens when unmatched ambition and raw intelligence are completely detached from any moral compass. His life is a stark, cautionary tale of how genius can lead you far, far away, but sometimes that journey is straight into the deepest shadow. Thanks for watching. If you found this dive into his origins interesting, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more deep dives into complex figures and events. See you next time.